In today's video, we'll be setting up and testing out Longer's B140W diode laser. A huge thanks to Longer for sending us this powerful laser. We're super excited to try it out. If you're interested in this laser or any Longer laser, make sure to use our discount code Project5Off for 5% off at checkout. Now we're going to see what comes on the provided USB drive that's for the setup of the machine. Now we'll go ahead and set up our device by importing the provided LightBurn setup file. We were able to connect the laser to LightBurn successfully, and we can test this by ensuring the laser frames when we press the button in LightBurn. Now that we've completed setting up the machine, we'll test out its cutting capabilities. order to cut our over 17.5mm material deeply, we'll need to defocus our laser head down 10mm. We found this by referencing the material settings from the provided drive. Unfortunately, we defocused our laser down too much, so it bumped our material out of frame. Even though the outline won't be aligned perfectly with the design, we'll still test to see if the current settings we have will cut our material. Our nearly 20mm wood was almost cut through completely with one pass using this laser. Therefore, if we increase the pass count to 2, I think this 40-watt laser will definitely cut through our material. To complete this second attempt, we're going to keep our laser defocused down for both the engrave layer and cut layer to prevent our material from being bumped again. The longer laser was able to successfully cut through the thick material. Now we're going to increase our laser's homing speed because we noticed it was moving quite slow. A cool feature of this machine is that you can actually control it through Wi-Fi using the LaserBurn app.
All right, now that we've tested this longer B1 40-watt laser, here's some of our initial thoughts. Well, first of all, I'll give this machine about a 5 out of 10 for difficulty on assembly. Obviously, we have other lasers such as this longer Ray 5 Mini, which came almost fully assembled out of the box and was super easy to set up, and I gave that one about a 1 out of 10. This one requires more assembly because of its size. They're just not going to ship it to you all put together, so you have to put that together. In particular, getting the belts wrapped around the gears down here on the gantry was a little bit challenging. However, given some time and a pick, we were able to pull that through and get this to connect. Now, assembly is only required one time for most people, so that's just something you got to know. Though very clearly laid out, All of the instructions were very clear. The parts and pieces were labeled clearly in their bags, but it does require some work to get this assembled. It took us about 30 minutes or so to put it together. Maybe more nitpicky for me, but I would have wished that the wire management would have had a cleaner look to it. For instance, we have our limit switch here right on the front and visible. I would have hoped that that could have been hidden maybe under the gantry or at least on the back side so you didn't have to look at it all the time. Additionally, there are a lot of exposed wires here at the front corner that you don't want to hit. I just would have liked the wire management to be a little bit more tidy for a cleaner look. Now my last critique is how loud this machine is when on. The laser fan runs constantly. Now I would have wished in the firmware it would have been able to detect the temperature of the laser to kind of kick on the power of the fan so that, you know, when you just turn on the machine, the fan isn't on at all because there's no heat to dissipate. However, it is constantly on and it is loud because it's a very powerful fan, which I guess is a pro as well when this is up to temperature. Now what I find exceptional about this machine is the size. For an open gantry machine, this is our largest work area that we have, and surprise, surprise, it can get even bigger, which we'll show in a future video. I also like how powerful this machine is. At a 40W diode laser with an exceptional focal length, we can cut through 3/4 inch plywood, no problem, 2 passes, which is exceptional in my book. Now this machine claims it can cut through 50 millimeters of black acrylic. We don't have a piece of 50 millimeter black acrylic to test that out on, but I have no doubt based off of its performance cutting through plywood that we would be able to cut through thicker material. Now I also like the safety features that come with this machine. There is a fire detection system. There's also a tip sensor so that the machine will cut off if it feels like it's being moved. I also like the fact that it comes with an integrated air assist, so that air assist turns on automatically as the laser is turned on. A great feature to have with an open diode machine that you don't see with others. Now this machine is Wi-Fi capable. We were able to connect to the LaserBurn app using our phone and connect to our Wi-Fi. However, we were not able to connect this machine to LightBurn's Wi-Fi capability. So that could just be us and not being familiar with those settings. But now with how heavy this laser head is, I was surprised to see that this machine can actually engrave at 600 millimeters per second, which is again incredibly fast for the amount of mass that this weighs. Powerful stepper motors to be able to control that, so that's a plus. Additionally, with how powerful this machine is, you are able to engrave stainless steel and get very good consistent results there. Again, not something you particularly see with a diode laser capability to engrave stainless steel, so I was very pleasantly surprised to see that. Now I do wish that this laser head came with crosshairs, red dot crosshairs, so that you could position your material. Now the sight panel here at the front is not the typical dark red cover on other lasers that kind of blocks that blue light dot. This one here is just a blue light filter, so you can very easily see the framing dot as you frame it out. So I don't know how important it is having those crosshairs. Now we do plan on adding an upgrade to this machine, a camera, which will be able to position our material very accurately and will make the crosshairs irrelevant at that point. So overall, I feel that this is a quality machine, which is something we've come to expect from Longer as we've used a few of their machines here. Now stay tuned for some future videos where we plan on testing out this machine even more and using some of its compatible accessories.
Once again, a huge thanks to Longer for sending us this laser, and if you're interested in a Longer machine, make sure to use our discount code Project5Off for 5% off at checkout. We'll have the link to their website in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it.